Hey guys, how's it going? It's Molly. Today we're going to be doing my next installment of Shop My Stash. I am actually staying on schedule. It's amazing. I did just realize I don't have any lipstick on. Pardon me. 1 minute. Okay, that's better. So if you haven't seen my Shop My Stashes, what I do is the first portion of the video, I talk about the things I chose from the last rotation, let you guys know my thoughts about how often I used everything, and then we go down into my dungeon and I pick things for the next 2 weeks out of my makeup dresser. So let's jump in. All right. I think I have everything in front of me. I'm pretty sure. Let's start with foundations. So this is the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, which, first of all, why? You don't need a foundation for 24 hours. Just please know that. Give your skin some love. I did recently film, I think, a couple of videos where I mentioned that I was able to make this work by pairing it with this Say primer. I always say it wrong. Let me read it. The Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow. I was able to make it not look quite as god awful, but it still looked terrible. It just did. It looked like a mask around my mouth. It kind of broke up in a really unflattering way in my T-zone. Just not good at all. So I'm really excited to film my declutter video for my base products because I'm going to just get rid of this. Obviously you can't buy it anymore and Becca is no longer. So, I mean, if my selling points was enough to make you think I'm gonna try it, you can't. So next up, how many times did I use this? About 7. Yeah, I'm a slow learner. I just kept hoping, kept trying. Nope. Next up, we've got this Essence Pretty Natural Foundation. Now, this stuff is amazing. I really, really love it. It's what I have on my face today. First of all, I feel like it's a good shade match. It might be a tinge too light right now, but it offers medium coverage. I also use it with the Say primer. Totally not necessary, but I've been really into glowy skin. So I've been using it that way. Sorry, I just ate some trail mix and I have it in my teeth. Give me a second. Anyways, I use this every other day that I wasn't using the Becca one. So 7 and 7. It says it's a longwear formula with natural coverage, finish, and weightless feel. I would agree. I was really concerned that this was going to kind of break apart on my skin after a couple of hours. For whatever reason, I just didn't have a lot of hope that it was going to be a solid formula. I think that's just me being snooty, oh, it's Essence. It couldn't possibly be that good. Even though Essence makes great products, I still, for whatever reason, have it in my head that if it's not high end, it's not going to do as good of a job. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's fine. Not fine. It's great. It's a great foundation. I will repurchase, most likely. Okay, next up, powder. RCMA No Color Powder. I like it. It's a good powder. I hate the packaging though. I don't remember hating the packaging as much as I do now when I used it in the past. I don't know what was different. I think maybe I was using a different brush. That's what was different. I was using this big honkin' powder brush here, super dense. It's also kind of covered in powder right now because I just forced it down in there and then it was a mess. I have not been able to successfully use this without making a giant mess. But I have used it, I think, 12 days. There were a couple of days when I didn't just because I didn't want to deal with the hassle of cleaning up a bunch of powder. Yeah, but as far as powders go, it's a legit, there's a reason why this has kind of a cult following. It's a very good powder. I use this in my bridal kit, not this one. I have a separate one for my bridal kit. That's just sitting there. I do have one wedding booked for this year. for those of you who don't know, I do freelance bridal makeup artistry, and had been doing a, like just a side gig, 6 to 12 weddings a year, but then COVID hit and I stopped. And so I haven't really started, but this was like a bridesmaid of a former bride from before COVID who contacted me, and I was like, all right, I can probably buy everything new for my kit and do your makeup, break even, it'll be fine. Okay, anyway, that was a total tangent. Let's regroup. Next up, bronzer. I don't know if I should even include this in this portion because it's in my Shop My Stash. I use it every day, but it is the Nabla Skin Bronzing Bronzer in Ombre. I've talked about this before. I love it. It is a beautiful shade. I did dig my nail in it right there to see how soon I was gonna get to the pan because I assumed it was close. I was wrong. So I just kind of compromised the product. It's fine. I love it. It's beautiful. Okay, next up, blushes. This One Size blush in the shade Cheek Clapper is gorgeous. This is the blush I have on my face today. I pulled this in because I wanted to pair it with this Super Shock shadow from ColourPop, which I did do. I've used this, I believe, twice now, today and the day that I did that. I was trying not to use it too much, even though I love it. It's definitely like, it's one of my all-time favorite blushes. I tried not to use it too much just because I wanted to use some other things. Yeah, I don't know. They blend out really well. They can be really intense, but you can, like I said, you can blend them out so that it's not so intense, and it's just a really flattering shade. So I love that. The other blush that I chose is this Patrick Ta blush. It's in the shade She's Blushing. I hate to say this because these are like all the rage, or at least they were when they came out. But this is just a blush. Like it's not anything special. In fact, I found it to be somewhat garish and patchy on me. I don't know if I just went in with it way too heavy of a hand. I used it twice. Both times the first time it was like really like, whoa, too much. The second time it was just, oh, okay. That's it. That's my $38 blush. I think it was that much. But you've got the cream, you got the powder. You can do some swatches. And I tried doing the whole like cream first, set it with powder situation. Those are the swatches. And I think maybe that's where I went wrong because that was a terrible idea. The cream didn't dry down quickly. I'm guessing that's what happened because then when I went in with the powder over the cream, it just stuck in very strange places. So not a huge fan of this. I just feel like there are more user-friendly blushes that you don't have to be so like meticulous with and so careful. But it is a pretty shade. It's fine. Like I'm not going to declutter it. You know what I mean? Like I'll use it, but I don't know that it's worth the hype. How many times did I use it? That's a good question. I want to say, did I say twice? That sounds right. So as you may have noticed, these two do not add up to 14. The rest of the time I was using a blush that isn't in my Shop My Stash. But it was a recent Sephora haul, the Danessa Myricks blush. I don't know where it is. It's in my makeup bag somewhere. It's not that big of a bag, but I've lost it. Okay, next up, highlighter. This is the Kaleidos Diamond Dasher highlighter, the Space Age highlighter in the shade Diamond Dasher. I used this once. I hated it. Hated it with a passion. It is it's just Chunk City, you guys. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but there are large glitter particles in here, and I don't appreciate it. I don't want it. I don't want it. So, I don't know. It makes me sad because I like Kaleidos as a brand, and I don't want to say anything negative. I think maybe my makeup style has just changed, and I'm not really into this. So, Okay, next up we've got the Under the Sea Super Shock Shadow by Disney. This is absolutely beautiful. It is a collaboration with Disney, of course. Did I say it was by Disney? It's ColourPop collaborating with Disney. It's the Little Mermaid collab. There's a swatch, super, super pretty. My one complaint with this, and I think it's just because it's old. Like my nieces and sister-in-law got me this years ago, which was super, super sweet. My one complaint with it at this point is that it just fades throughout the day. Like the intense color pigment doesn't last, but it is such a beautiful shade. Like I just sheared it out a lot and yeah, I love it. I kind of want to keep it in and just kind of use it here and there sporadically and get some good use out of it. We'll see. Before I forget, I was going to go on to eyeshadows, but I will forget this lipstick if I do that. So the lipstick that I chose is the Fab shade. What are you? Butter London Plush Rush? Yes, Butter London Plush Rush lipstick. These used to be available at Kohl's. Excuse me. They're not anymore. I don't know where you buy this. Maybe just on the Butter London website. I love this. I feel like I chose another lipstick, but I can't remember. If I did, I don't think I used it very much. I think it was mostly focusing on my Milani lipstick that I'm trying to pan. Anyways, this formula is beautiful. I used it a couple of times. I paired it with the green eyeshadow from ColourPop. I'm wearing it today. It's pretty. I like it. Okay, eyeshadow palettes. Sultry. This is the ABH Sultry palette. I used this, I think, 3 or 4 times because I was using it in conjunction with Modern Renaissance to get like cohesive looks, because I don't know that this is a super cohesive color story. My plan is to pull this in to my project pan. My plan is to pan. That's what's going to happen. It's absolutely beautiful. These shimmers are next level. I don't want to say next level. These shimmers are a huge improvement from ABH's shimmers that were like in the Modern Renaissance palette. These are more like satiny shimmers, not super impactful. These are like foiled, beautiful shimmers, and I want to get the most out of them while they are still performing well. This, unfortunately, I believe this palette is discontinued, so I want to use it. So I am going to pull this in to my project pan. I'm excited about that. Next up, we got the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. This palette, it is really pretty. It is. I will say I found myself feeling a little bit limited in what I could do with it. I did a lot of warm toned looks with this shade here, which is absolutely gorgeous. It is such a pretty gold. I'm not really into yellow gold, but this sort of copper gold, it's gorgeous. And then I would use the shade Noble Woman as well. I would use like these two together, like the Noble Woman on the outer corner and this on my lid. Really, really pretty. I was getting a lot of use out of this orange matte as well. And yeah, the looks that I was doing, mostly it was these 3 shades. Those are the shades that I was focusing on. And I used this 5 times. And so the remainder of the days that I was using an eyeshadow palette, I was using the Be Perfect Carnival palette. Yes, the Antidote palette. This is so pretty. This is what I have on my eyes today. Today I've got Stone as my transition shade, and then Dusty Rose deepening up my crease. I've got Elixir on my lid. This shade, I like, when you just look at it, it looks kind of like a gray taupe, but it's actually this beautiful, warm sort of, I don't know, and it's a lot lighter than I thought it would be. That's it swatched. It's just such a pretty shade. So that's what I have on. I've used several of these shades. I've used something from, like I've done a warm toned look. I've done a neutral-ish. It's not neutral, but like it's more like mauve pinks, whatever. And then I've done a green, like green looks. it's just, I love this palette. It's huge, and that is a downfall, but I was contemplating bringing this into a project pan. There ain't no way I'll be able to do it, but I really, really enjoy it. And it might just be one of those ones that I kind of keep in my rotation and just use the crap out of it, you know, until maybe it wouldn't be so daunting to have it as in with a project pan, you know? Anyway, that's it. That's it for last rotations products. Why don't we go ahead and jump into the shopping portion of the video. Okay, guys, don't mind the messy dresser. I kind of forgot that I should clean it off. Also, this is like a matte finish, so it just holds on to all of the gross. Anyways, oh, and I'm winded. My God. Let's talk about the things that I'm going to keep in. As always, my NYX setting powder. I'm also going to keep in this RCMA powder, and I've really been loving this Essence foundation, but I'm going to be pulling in another foundation to use in this next rotation, and it's this Too Faced Born This Way. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands right now, so don't mind that. And then I forgot that I had this Becca primer. Is this the First Light priming filter? I had this in my project pan. Totally forgot to use it. So yeah, this is all going to stay in my makeup bag. Also, this is the Skin Bronzing Bronzer by Nabla in Ombre, which I'm working on panning. So that's going to stay in. I thought I had a blush that I was working on panning, but I really cannot remember. There was. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to pull it back in. Hang on a second. We're not to blushes yet, though. So for eyeshadow palettes, I know that I want to bring in this Big Poppy by ColourPop. I'm thinking about panning this for this summer. I've been using it the past few days because there's a lag between when I filmed the first part of this video and when I'm like shopping right now. So I've been really enjoying it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Also, you may notice things have changed. I filmed the first half of my declutter video. So, I'm going to do 2 different declutter videos because otherwise it's like super long. Anyways, so I've done half of my eyeshadow palette collection, if that makes sense. So now I need to choose another palette that will go with Big Poppy because this is just matte. So I know myself, and I know that I'm going to want some shimmers. The shimmer. But what shimmers do I want to bring into the mix? These are pretty. But do they go with orange? No, they do not. No. I'm tempted to do this Break the Rules palette because it's got some really beautiful shades and I know that I'll get use out of it. So I might grab this, but I feel the need to bring more. Why do I feel that need? You know what I haven't ever used? This Strange and Unusual palette by Bella Beauty Bar. Never used it. And there's an orange. Maybe. You know what I need to bring in? Some BH Cosmetics palettes. What about this guy? Like, I don't know, do we want to do this guy? I feel like this pink and orange together are good, right? And there's this like just straight up orange shimmer. Could be really pretty with it. Don't mind my voice. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't really know what I want to do. So many choices. So little time. What about, oh, this is another one I barely use. Not because it's not good. It is good. Is this the same brand? Flare. It's Belle. Yeah, these are both It's Belle Cosmetics. Both the Flare and Break the Rules. Oh my goodness, it's so freaking pretty. Stunning. Oh, that's a serious maybe. This shouldn't be so difficult. Truly, it should not. Plain Jane. Dude. This one. Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane. It's got some beautiful shimmers. I need to pull this in soon, but today is not that day. So these are the eyeshadow palettes. I think with all of it combined, we might be able to make something happen. I don't know. We'll see. I might actually be sad and miss some other mattes, in which case I'll just grab some others later. But for now, this is a good, this works for me. Oh yeah. Okay. Blush. What blush was I working on? It was one of these ColourPop ones. Not that one. It was this one. So I'm going to pull this back in. This is from the Tinkerbell collection. This is the shade Darling. It is darling. It's so pretty. It's a nice warm tone blush. I think it'll work well with the warm toned eye looks that I am sure to come up with. Next up, do we need any other blushes? I really don't think so, because it's like not just warm tone, it's also kind of nude. So I think it's going to work great. You know what? I am going to grab some single shadows. Also, I desperately need to declutter that. It's driving me bananas. All right, so we've got some ColourPop, but I also, these Tarte ones, I'm going to grab both of them because I haven't used them in a while. I've got Sun Drenched and Park Avenue Princess. I'm feeling the warm tone smoky, you guys. That's what I'm feeling. And then I know I got another Super Shock, which I know I shouldn't have, but it did. I'm trying to remember. It's not, Lightning Bug could be really pretty. Snake Bite. Some of these are gorgeous. Oh, I think this is it. A little quirky. I have no idea if I was even in frame. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to what I'm filming. But anyways, this one is beautiful. I used it once. I want to use it some more. So I'm gonna. Okay, bronzer. I recently picked up a bronzer that I really enjoy. But I want to get more use out of some other ones. So cool story, bro. Wasn't I working on a highlighter? I thought I was panning a highlighter. What was it? Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I already panned it. Tell me why. You know what I want? I want Champagne Pop. But I don't know if I have it. Do I have Champagne Pop? Oh my. I may not. Ah, I do. Becca Champagne Pop. Right there. So pretty. Yes. Oh, yeah, no, the highlighters I've been using is just shades from the, what is that palette that I'm panning? You know. Modern Renaissance. Anyways, so I haven't had like a highlighter in my project pan for a while now. So this is the one, I think. Sounds like a terrible idea, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Winded. So very winded. All right, bronzer. I've got a bronzer. I don't need another bronzer, even though I want to grab another bronzer. I've got foundation I've got, concealer I've got, right? Oh, I don't think I mentioned. I'm just using my CoverGirl concealer because it's just what I'm doing. All right. Next up, lips. Final category. There's some newer lipsticks that I want to get some use out of, like this Wayne Goss one, but I don't think this is going to look right with the eye looks I'm wanting to do. But maybe I will pull it in so that I can use it. I got this in my lucky bag. If you saw that video, I was very lucky, very excited. Ooh, I might grab this to pair with it. This is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude in the shade Andrea, or Andrea, depending on how fancy you are. It's like concealer lips, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think maybe if I pair it with that Wayne Goss one, we might get a color that works for my face. Okay, so there's those two. Is there another? I just chose that one. I don't like that very well. this Moira. Oh man. This Moira one, it's like this beautiful orange. It is super pretty, but I don't know that I'm really into orange lips right now. So, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna grab this KKW one because I'm feeling very indecisive and don't know what else to do. Okay guys, so this is what I've got. I am really excited to play around with some of this makeup. There's stuff in here that I haven't used in a very, very long time, and I'm ready. I'm ready to give it a try. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up, subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.